Hello everyone. So today we're going to go over section 4.3, percent of a number. So to calculate the percent of a number, we can write the percent as a decimal and then multiply it by the number. And in some cases, we can use mental math to determine the percent of numbers as well. So here in example 1, we'll try to use mental math. In example 1a, we have 150% of $5. So first of all, 100% of $5 is of course just $5, and 50% of $5 would then be half of that amount, which is $2.50. Oops, sorry about that. And finally, 150% of $5 will be the sum of the previous two, which means it will be $7.50. Okay. So next, we are looking at 0.1% of $100. So 100% of $100 is of course just $100. So it makes sense that 1% of $100 is $1. And finally, 0.1% will be 1/10 of 1%. So therefore, 0.1% of $100 will be $0.1, or just 10 cents. Okay. Next, we are looking at 1.5% of $20,000 in this case. So first of all, 1% of $20,000 is $200, and 0.5% will be half of 200, so that will be $100 in this case. So finally, we have 1.5% of $20,000, and that would be $300 altogether. Okay, so from there, very similar in example 1D, 10% of 480 would be just 48, 1/10 of 100%. So 1/10 of 480, which is 48. 5% will be half of that, so 5% of 480 would be 24. So 15% of 480 would then be the sum of the previous two, which is 72. Okay, so in these cases, we did not need a calculator. We can just use mental math to figure out what the percent of the numbers are. Okay, so next up we have example 2. First question, this could be handled using mental math as well, but we also know that 10% is equal to 0.1, so actually, since we take 10% and divide it by 100% to get the number in decimal form, we'll get 0.1. And then we take 0.1 and multiply it by 300, and so we get 30 as 10% of 300. Next one is very similar. So first we're going to turn 214% into a decimal. So we're going to get 2.14. Then we're going to multiply by 214. which will give us 457.96. Okay. Continuing on, we have 26.5%. So divided by 100, that will give us 0.265. We're gonna multiply that by our number in this case is 824, which will give us 218.36. This next one's a little bit different. We have a percent that's less than 1%, so we have 0.8%. So, of course, we can just divide by 100, just like we did before. Actually, so we have 0.8% divided by 100% to get the decimal form, which is going to be 0.008. And then we're going to take that number and multiply it by, in this case, 200.6. And we'll get 2.2448. And then the last example here, so we have 6.25%, so this would be 6.25%. Again, we're going to divide by 100% first to get the decimal representation, which will be 0.0625. And then we are going to multiply that by 32.8, which in this case will give us, let's see here, 2.05, I think is what it is. So we'll check here. There we go. Okay, so that's the process of finding the percent of a number. We take the percent, we rewrite it as a decimal, and then simply multiply by the number afterwards. Okay. So in some cases, using mental math may not be necessary. So let's see example 3A. A survey shows that 1/4% of 800 students use inline skates to get to school. How many of the 800 use inline skates to get to school? So just by using some mental math, we can find that 1% of 800 students is equal to 8. And so, of course, if we have 1/4% of 800, it'll be 1/4 of 8, which is 2. So we just have 2 students. So using a calculator may not be necessary for this one. Again, next one, very similar kind of idea. So 10% of 400 is, of course, 40. So 30% of 400 will then be 3 times that, which is 120. And then from there, we can also find out 1%. Sorry about this. 1% of 400 is equal to 4. So we're looking for 3/4 of 400. Well, we can simply multiply 3/4 by 4, and that will give us 3. So altogether then, 30.75% will be the sum of these two numbers. So that would give us, oops, sorry about that, 123 at the end. So the 30% will be 120 students, and the 3/4% would be 3 students. So add together is 123 students. Okay. So in some cases, it's maybe better to use a calculator. So for example, let's see here. We have a $40.12 savings plan, and it grew 20%. So we're going to take 120% divided by 100% to rewrite it as a decimal, which of course is 1.2. And then we're going to take 1.2 and multiply by $40.12 and see what the final value of the investment is. And in this case, we get 48.144. And then we're going to round that to 2 decimal places to the nearest cent. So that will be $48.14. Okay, it's a couple more. Store A is having a sale. Everything in the store is 40% off. So if it is 40% off, then the first thing we need to find out is here we have 100% is the regular price minus 40% off means Justin in this case will be paying 60% of the regular price. So in this case, we're going to take 60% divided by 100%, so we get 0.6. And then we simply take 0.6 and multiply by 650, which is the original price of the snowboard. And that will give us $390. Okay. So finally, new video game console is worth $660. 12% tax altogether. Okay, so 5% plus 7% is equal to 12% tax. So divide that by 100, we get 0.12 is the tax multiplier, so to speak. Actually, okay, and then we'll just write it as 0.12 is the tax. So then we take 0.12 and multiply by the price, which is $660, and we'll find out what the tax is. And it'll be $79.20. So this will be just the tax. And if we add the $660 on top of the $79.20, that's how we get the total tax included. Okay. So that is how we calculate the percent of a number. Oftentimes we will change the percent into a decimal format and then multiply by the number. As we can see here, oftentimes the questions is about prices and sales and tax and questions of that nature. And so that's it for today. So thank you for listening.